Good evening. Well, yet more I'm uncovering from the NatWest Bank. Subject, access request, all 600 pages of it, quite a bit to troll through. Now, this bit's important because back in April, when, of course, it was decided that, I would have my account closed, simultaneously, somebody quite senior in NatWest wrote this. In support of Coots' decision to exit Nigel Farage, significant adverse press, xenophobic comments, Russian connections, lack of clarity over source of wealth. I have confirmed that retail would have no appetite to onboard the customer if he were to apply to NatWest, Royal Bank or Ulster Bank brands. NF would represent a more complex customer beyond our vanilla commercial risk-reward appetite. So to be clear, when I was told my accounts were closing at Coots, there was absolutely no option to go to NatWest at all. Yet, a few months later, Dame Alison Rose, on the 20th of July, said, I've written to him today, meaning me, to make clear that we apologise and we reiterate our offer of alternative banking arrangements with NatWest Group. Oh, Alison Rose, you do so well, don't you? Or at least you think you do well, covering up lie after lie after lie. Are you really going to walk away from that board meeting on Thursday with £11.3 million, given that this bank is nearly 40% owned by the state? But even more seriously, in these documents, try this for size. He got paid from the Kremlin, bet he's a spy. Yep, they genuinely believed I was in the pay of Russian money. The previous statement I read out mentioned Russian connections. My links to Russia were mentioned 144 times in the Coots subject access request. I'll say it again. He got paid from the Kremlin, bet he's a spy. Tonight, albeit briefly, I want to talk to you about what fake news is. Why did people within that bank believe that one of the reasons I should be debanked is because of my connections and income from Russia? Well, this happened in the House of Commons, and it came from Sir Chris Bryant, Member of Parliament, Labour Member of Parliament for the Rhondda Valley in South Wales.
I don't understand why Aaron Banks, frankly, isn't on the list either. Even Isabel Oakeshott now thinks that he is an agent of influence for the Russian state. And I simply point out that Nigel Farage received from Russia Today £548,000, £573 in 2018 alone from the Russian state.
And that is what Coots Bank believed. And that is what many other people in this country believed. And indeed, I even had to cancel one public appearance. Such was the threat of violence against me for being in the pay of the Russians. This is how fake news is created. Bryant did this using parliamentary privilege. Now, absolutely unbeknown to me until a couple of weeks ago, on the last day before the summer recess, in the middle of an afternoon debate on a totally different subject, Sir Chris Bryant had this to say.
In a previous debate on sanctions, I referred to the former leader of UKIP. And let me be absolutely clear, I have had no correspondence of any kind, electronic or in writing or digital, with Coots Bank about him, or for that matter, about anybody else, because I don't have many constituents who bank with Coots. I don't know, I have no idea why Coots have closed his bank account, but I should have been more careful with the words that I used a year ago. The figure I gave was for his total income. I think that he has himself stated that he was paid for his appearances on Russia Today, and that Russia Today is, of course, a part of the Russian state. And he has made clear his respect for Vladimir Putin as a nationalist. But the figure I gave was nowhere near, I think, the accurate figure. So I apologise if I have inadvertently misled the House. I had no intention to do so, and I hope that that puts the record straight.
So there you are. He apologises for misleading the House. He doesn't apologise to me. He doesn't even name me at any point in that. And when he says the figure was misleading, it was nowhere near the number stated. No, Sir Chris, the number was zero. I earned zero in 2018 from any Russian connected source of any kind whatsoever. That speech, given when it was, how it was at the time, got no press pickup at all. And this is what fake news is, folks. A narrative, an aggressive narrative that is untrue, gets created in the media, believed in the public, and when you get an apology, or half an apology as that was, nobody gets to hear of it. It does huge reputational damage. It is one of the reasons why, a major reason why, I was debanked. I'm joined by Professor